Here's a problem nobody talks about. Most crochet flowers look cheap, like the kind of stuff you'd find at a yard sale that's been sitting in someone's attic since 1987. But what if I told you there's a way to make flowers that actually look expensive, the kind people will literally stop and ask where you bought them from? Stay with me because I'm about to show you exactly how to do it. So before we get into the actual crocheting, we need to talk about why most crochet flowers end up looking homemade in the worst way possible. It all comes down to three things: yarn choice, tension, and structure. Most tutorials skip right over this part, but if you mess up here, it doesn't matter how perfectly you follow the pattern, your flowers will still look off. First, let's talk yarn. I see so many people grabbing whatever acrylic yarn is on sale at the craft store, and I get it, budget matters. But here's the thing, cheap acrylic has this weird shine to it that screams fake. Real flowers have this matte, almost velvety texture. So what you want is cotton yarn or a cotton blend. It holds its shape better, it doesn't pill as much, and honestly, it just looks more realistic. For this project, I'm using a fingering weight cotton yarn in 3 shades, a deep burgundy, a dusty rose, and cream. The different shades are important because real flowers aren't one flat color. They have depth and variation. Now here's where most people mess up. They try to crochet too tight because they think it'll make the flowers sturdier. Wrong. When you crochet too tight, your petals get stiff and awkward looking. Real flower petals have movement to them. They're soft and kind of flow naturally. So you want your tension to be relaxed, almost loose. I know that feels weird if you're used to crocheting amigurumi or blankets where tight stitches matter, but trust me on this one. The structure issue is the big one though. Most flat crochet flowers look like, well, flat crochet flowers. They're obviously handmade circles with petals. That's fine for some projects, but if you want something that could pass as high-end home decor, you need dimension. We're going to be creating flowers with layers, where the petals overlap and curl in different directions. Think of how a real peony or ranunculus looks. It's not flat, it's this beautiful mess of petals all stacked on top of each other. All right, let's actually make these flowers. I'm going to walk you through 3 different styles that you can mix and match however you want. The first one is a 5-petal flower that's going to be our base layer for bigger arrangements. The second is a ruffled flower that adds that expensive boutique look. And the third is a simple bud that's perfect for filling in gaps. Starting with the 5-petal flower, we're using a 3.5mm hook and that burgundy yarn I mentioned. Make a magic ring, chain 3, this counts as your first double crochet. Work 11 more double crochets into the ring for a total of 12 stitches. Pull the ring tight and slip stitch to the top of your starting chain. So now you have this little circle, and we're going to turn it into petals. Chain 3 and turn your work. We're working in rows now, not rounds. Skip the first stitch and work 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. That's 3 double crochets total, including your chain. Chain 2, turn, and work 3 double crochets again, 1 in each stitch. Do this one more time, so you've got this little triangle shape forming. Now, chain 1 and work single crochets down the side of your triangle, across the bottom, and up the other side. Slip stitch back to the main circle. That's 1 petal done. Repeat that process 4 more times around the circle. By the time you're done, you'll have 5 petals radiating out from the center. But here's the key detail that makes it look professional. When you do that final round of single crochets around each petal, work them loosely. Let the petal purl and bend naturally. If you pull too tight, it'll lay flat and look stiff. Now, make 2 more of these flowers in the same color but in different sizes. For the medium one, use a 3mm hook with the same pattern. For the small one, use a 2.5mm hook. See what we're doing here? We're creating depth by layering different sizes together. Next up is the ruffled flower, and this is where things get fun. This one is all about volume. Start with the dusty rose yarn and a 3.5mm hook. Magic ring, chain 1, work 8 single crochets into the ring, slip stitch to join. For round 2, we're going to work 2 single crochets in each stitch around. That's 16 stitches total. This is where the ruffling starts to happen. Round 3 is where it really comes together. In each stitch, you're going to work a half double crochet, 2 double crochets, and a half double crochet. Yeah, that's 5 stitches in every single stitch from the previous round. It's going to start bunching up and looking crazy, and that's exactly what we want. The fabric is literally forcing itself to ruffle because there's too much material for the space. When you finish this round and slip stitch to join, you'll have this frilly, almost cabbage-like circle. But we're not done. Chain 1 and turn your work inside out. Yeah, flip the whole thing. Now we're working another round on the back side, working into the back loops only from round 2. Remember that round with 16 stitches? Work 1 single crochet in each stitch around. This creates a second layer of ruffles that sits underneath the first layer. It adds so much dimension. For the final touch, make 1 more round of those chunky petal stitches. Half double crochet, 2 double crochets, half double crochet into each of those back loop single crochets. Now you've got this gorgeous, full, layered flower that looks nothing like basic crochet. Make 2 or 3 of these in different sizes using different hook sizes, just like we did with the first flower. The stem is the easiest one, and honestly might be my favorite because it adds such a delicate touch. Using the cream yarn and a 2mm hook, make a magic ring. Work 6 single crochets into the ring and pull it tight. Don't join. We're working in a spiral. Work 2 single crochets in each stitch around for 12 stitches total. Then work 1 round even with 1 single crochet in each stitch. Now here's the trick. Stuff it lightly. You can use a tiny bit of fiber fill, or honestly, I just use scrap yarn. You just need something to give it shape. Work your next round decreasing back down to 6 stitches. Single crochet 2 stitches together around. Fasten off and pull the tail through to close the top. You've got this little pod shape that looks like a flower that hasn't opened yet. Make a bunch of these. Seriously, make like 10 or 15 because they're perfect for filling in arrangements. Now let's talk stems and leaves, because this is what really sells the whole thing. You can buy floral wire at any craft store. Cut pieces about 8 to 12 inches long. Using green yarn, I like a sage green or olive color, and a 2mm hook, chain 20. Slip stitch into the second chain from the hook and into each chain across. This gives you a thin, slightly textured cord. Lay your wire along the center and work another row of slip stitches over both the previous stitches and the wire, encasing the wire inside. This gives you a stem that you can bend and shape however you want. For leaves, chain 10 with that same green yarn. Starting in the second chain from the hook, work 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 3 double crochets, 1 half double crochet, 1 single crochet, and slip stitch into the last chain. That's one side of the leaf. Chain 1 and work the same stitches on the other side of your foundation chain. When you get to the tip, work 3 single crochets into that same stitch to create a point. Slip stitch to join and leave a long tail for attaching. Make these leaves in different sizes by varying your starting chain, some with 8 chains, some with 12. Variety is what makes it look natural. Assembly is where your arrangement goes from nice to absolutely stunning. This is not a slap it together situation. Get a base. This could be a wreath form, a picture frame, a basket, whatever you want to decorate. I'm using a 10-inch grapevine wreath for this tutorial. Start by attaching your stems to the base with hot glue or floral tape. Arrange them at different heights and angles. Nothing in nature grows in a perfect line, so make it messy on purpose. Take your largest ruffled flower and attach it slightly off-center, not in the middle, off to one side. This creates visual interest and makes people's eyes move around the piece. Add one of your large 5-petal flowers nearby, but facing a different direction. Now, start filling in with the medium and small flowers, alternating between the ruffled style and the petal style. Tuck the buds in any gaps. They should peek out between the bigger flowers like they're hiding. The leaves are your secret weapon here. Weave them throughout the arrangement, some tucked under flowers, some sticking out. Bend the wire stems so some leaves are turned at angles. This creates movement and makes the whole thing look alive instead of static. Hot glue everything securely as you go, because the last thing you want is for flowers to start falling off. Here's a pro tip that interior designers use: the rule of 3. Use 3 main colors, 3 different flower sizes and odd numbers of each element. Our burgundy, dusty rose, and cream create a cohesive color palette. The large, medium, and small flowers create scale, and odd numbers like 3 large, 5 medium, 7 small create visual balance without looking too symmetrical and boring. You can take